Good evening, everyone. So we have today with us Mr. Umesh Agrawal. Mr. Umesh Agrawal is a businessman from Chennai. He is a columnist and he is a published author, and he has a very deep interest in geopolitics. He has a very good understanding of geopolitics and international relations. So we are going to talk about the viral film today, the Kerala story. So what is the story actually? So that's what we are going to find out, why people are opposing this and why people should watch it. Each and every girl, each and every lady should watch this movie. Why? So these are the something that will be putting these questions to Mr. Umesh Agrawal and what he thinks about the film. So welcome, Mr. Umesh, or welcome to our studio.
Thank you, D. Namaskar. It's my pleasure to be here as well. And this is a very, hot topic right now in the country. And I definitely feel that each and every woman of this country needs to watch this movie because it will wake them from the deep slumber.
So, Mr. Agrawal, actually, this is a very controversial film, the Kerala story. Many people are supporting this film, and there is a very intense opposition also. So, can you give us a brief overview of this film? What is your understanding?
I would like to correct you first. This is not a controversial film. It is a thought-provoking film. What is happening is suddenly the realization has dawned on India about a very deep, global plan which is being plotted against our country through this active first. This is not a controversial film. It's a thought-provoking film. You have to understand the Kerala story the name signifies. It's a story about some people say it is around 32,000 women. Somebody says it's more than that. Somebody says it's only 4. But I would like to bring you some facts about it. This Kerala story has been documented by a lawyer in Kerala. His name is Pratish Swaminathan. You can Google it out.
Okay.
This is a person who has rescued around 8,500 girls from internationally, locally, in and around Kerala. So the figure 32,000 or 50,000, then 3,000, that does not matter at all. If you just Google it out, you'll come to know in 2009, Kerala High Court asked the state government to frame rules regarding love jihad. And in 2012, the then Congress Chief Minister, Umesh Agrawal, has stated that since 2006 to 2012, in the 6 years interval, around 3,000 girls have fallen victim to the love jihad. And few years down the line, there was a data which was published by Times Now regarding this. And it is, I don't believe that this is around figures. We should not go by the figures, but we should go by the reports. Many things I do understand that Kerala is a society. It's a society where we have equal number of Muslims, Christians, and Hindus in the state. People have also stated that this is a type of intercaste marriage, interfaith marriage. But why do you have to change the name when there is a love? Then why do you want to whitewash the identity of the girl?
Yes, right.
Love is actually blind, so you don't need to do that. You don't need to erase the identity of the girl. But that is happening. We have come to media reports, and if you see, Vipul Shah and Sudipto Sen, being the producer and director of the film, have actually shown a very mellowed down version of what's happening. They have shown only around 3 to 4 girls, but this is really this story is really greater than anything else. It's having a larger magnitude. It's quite larger than what it seems.
I see. So why do you think the people are opposing this film? And is the number, the 32,000 number, as it is said, as the teaser of the film showed actually? So is that the exaggerated number actually?
I would not like to talk about the numbers actually. I've already mentioned that it's like the Umesh Agrawal has already said 3,000 girls on record. It's a Congress CM. It's not It's not being sent by any other organization. He has already on record said 3,000 in 2012, and now it is 2023. In 11 years, what is the number? Even I can't. Even I cannot. Even I cannot say that. What is the number? It might be just 30. It might be just less. Also, it might be 50,000. Who knows? Many of the cases are unreported as well.
Yes. Yes.
And people who are opposing this film, they should actually condemn what is happening. They should also say that this ecosystem, which is being well funded internationally, I have already stated they have just published the rate card also. Whereas a Brahmin girl gets around 7 lakhs and some other girl gets around 3 lakhs. So imagine 32,000 girls, or what is the amount of X amount for each girl they are spending lakhs of rupees. How can it sustain in a 20-year period without international support? And if you note down this, the logistic for this entire thing for 2 decades have been provided by the banned PFI, the Popular Front of India. And we know that Popular Front of India has links with the ISI. And definitely they should be getting international funding for this kind of covert operation. And one more thing you have to realize, that through this operation, the girls are converted, radicalized, and they are being sent to war zones like Syria, Yemen, Syria, Yemen, then Iraq, Afghanistan, to act as suicide bombers. If they cannot fulfill the mission, they are being sold as sex slaves. And these ISIL fighters then impregnate them. Then they are being used as as objects for producing babies. So this type of a first human behavior is being depicted in the film. The film actually narrates the harrowing experience the girls go through. In fact, I would say those opposing the film should see the human element and try to preach to the people who are supporting this ecosystem to stop this immediately.
Right. So, what is, according to you, what are their concern actually? The opposition, the people who are opposing this film, what do you think, what they worry about actually? What are their concerns?
See, the opposition film, mostly it is the secular party, the so-called self-declared secular party are opposing the film. They just do not want to appease, they do not want to, they are practicing appeasement politics. We can be very much sure on that. Otherwise, there is no reason for them to oppose. And I don't know the 32,000 figure or whatever it is. Are they even not agreeing to the figure which has been provided by their own CM, Uman Chandy? He only said in 2012, 3,000 girls have fallen victim to love jihad. What does the opposition has to say about that? Let them answer that. They will get their answer. There will be no opposition once they, because I believe there is nothing to protest.
I see. So, why do you think each and every girl should watch this movie?
See, this is I think with the age of information and what is happening is this fact has been concealed for long, like for 2 decades. People are unaware it is happening. If you see, even the the Malabar Christian Church Council have also stated it 2 years back. And suddenly the movie comes, it generates an interest. Cinema is a powerful tool. They will come to know what is. They should guard themselves from being entrapped. I just say that they should not support interfaith marriages, but they should ensure that their identity is not erased. The other person should be willing to accept the girl as it is.
Yes, yes, that's right. That's right. So, this you think the love jihad case, it happened in Kerala. So, I think such cases are mostly we see in every part of the country. So, do you think there is a wider conspiracy behind?
See, if you see this Kerala files is just a one-off angle. It is happening everywhere. In Pakistan, I would like to enlighten you that around girls, Hindu girls, Christian girls, Sikh girls who are around 12, 13, 14 years old are being married to 60, 70, 80-year-old men. And they are being forcibly abducted and then forcibly married. This is every day around 3 girls are being abducted in Pakistan. This makes to be around 1,000 girls in a year. And it's not just confined to Asia. It's even that's already spread into Europe as well. The grooming gangs. You should be aware about. You should be knowing about the grooming gangs which are operating in UK, Sweden, Nordic countries, and and in which the Christian girls are brutally raped and then they are converted. And even if I would like to remind you guys that Yazidi women in Iraq, when ISIL captured Iraq, they ensured that all the men are being sent for working in the oil fields, and the Yazidi women were used as sex slaves, and thousands were used to, and thousands of girls were impregnated. And this, I believe, it's this what they are carrying out is a slow poison. It is a cultural ethno-genocide against the Sanatani culture. Right now, this is just not an eye opener. It is thought provoking. It will guide them. It will guide the girls to become more vigilant against the well-funded ecosystem, and this well-funded ecosystem is operating from abroad. I have already mentioned that PFI is involved, and PFI has a connection with ISI as well. And this ISI and I believe the countries from the Middle East and some intelligence agencies of the West are involved as well. The idea is to break Sanatan Dharma, to break our culture. This is what I feel.
So from here you actually get your data actually. Whatever data you are quoting, this many girls per day they are being kidnapped and converted. So from where you get your data?
I'll send you all the links. The Google links are there with me.
Okay.
Whatever I'm saying, it's there in popular. It's from popular media publications.
Okay.
I'm not saying for any obscure publications. It's if you just Google out for Pakistan, just check out Mia Mittu. He is the person who is involved. He is being nurtured by the Pakistan government to abduct Hindu girls in Sindh and getting them married to 70, 80-year-old men. So it's very wide, but I'm really surprised why has the Indian government not yet taken up the issue of Hindus residing abroad when Islamic nations when Islamic nations and Western countries around the world scream a lot if anything happens against any minority in India.
Right.
And most of these cases are fabricated and they are not genuine as well, I believe.
Yeah. So what step do you think government should take if the things are happening across the country? Then what do you think the government should do?
I would like this government to telecast this film on Doordarshan repeatedly. I know it is a very atrocious demand, but we need to do it. We need to dub it into multiple language. We need to ensure that the girls are being given training in martial arts and other things. They are being made aware of what's happening, and there should be a ban on conversion during marriages. This should not be allowed at all. And I think they should they should enact stringent laws. They should even enact a helpline regarding this, and in every case which comes has to be monitored, and the government has to take proactive steps regarding this.
So I think helpline for women are already there. So for women, helplines are there. Even for the cases of conversion, actually, I think there are laws in India. But if there is a mass conversion, then the governments can do something. If someone is doing willingly, that I don't think the government will be able to do anything.
I have stated only one thing: conversion during marriages has to be banned explicitly. Okay. If you want, if you love any, okay, fine, you are free to have an interfaith marriage. I have no problem with that. But during the process, neither of anyone are allowed to convert to other religion.
Right. So what kind of response you see for this film actually? People are going to watch, or people are not very enthusiastic about watching the film?
In some states and in some cities, the film has been taken off from the theaters. In Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, there have been reports of law and order problem, and the theaters in the state, in both the states, have refused to screen the movie.
Okay.
But we see that a very enthusiastic response coming from across the world. If you see the international release of this movie is slated on 20 May, and I've been receiving a lot of inputs regarding why the movie is not being released in UK, USA, in Canada, in Australia, across the world. So the interest is lot of interest is there. And yesterday, a Dutch parliamentarian has also endorsed this movie as well. So I think the movie will receive international accordance because it has dared to expose the ISIL ecosystem. This film is not against Islam. This film is not against Muslims. It is against radicalized Islam. It is against ISIL. The directors of the film has also stated it. So more than people crying about spread this movie being a hate speech or Islamophobia, I think this film is actually trying to correct the narrative.
And what kind of response you find from the Middle East actually? Because some of the Middle East nations are very close to India. They are having very strong ties with India.
The Middle East countries, if you see, even Mohammed bin Salman, the current ruler of Saudi Arabia, is trying to reform the country. He is trying to give women rights. He has allowed people to play sports, women to watch sports. And even if you see, the Grand Prix was conducted last year. So the Middle East is trying to reform itself. And on the contrary, in India, we see opposition party are practicing regressive politics.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, do you find this film can be called a hit film as per the business achieved till date?
The cost of the film is expected to be around 25 crores. And till date, I think today they have recovered the cost with the overseas release yet to be pending. And the satellite rights have also not been accounted for. And I think it should gross roughly around 100 crores, I believe, easily.
So we can say this is going to be a hit film because since it has already get the break even actually, he has recovered the cost and now the international release is pending. So we can call it a hit film.
Yes, absolutely, it will be a blockbuster film, and I think in future, films of this genre, which depicts reality, will be produced, will be directed. And if you see the film about vaccines is coming, the Delhi Files is coming, the Bengal Files is coming. A lot of things are happening. This film will actually act as a catalyst, and people will be much more prone to watch reality rather than any fictional content, any script writing which is fictional. They will not. There will be very little interest.
So do you find there is a change in trend, the way the Indians were making film for almost, I think, in 70 years or so, we have been into filmmaking. So do you find there is a change in the trend, the kind of film the Indian filmmakers are making now?
The influence of the Bollywood, the influence of underworld on Bollywood started in 1990s or 91, 92. Okay, and they have actually had the 3 decades of influence over Bollywood. And right now, if you see filmmakers like Vivek Agnihotri and now Sudipto Sen and many others will try to venture out and show the reality what is happening. They will try to depict real life events and in which people can relate. That is important.
So I think that's a great thing that is going to happen to Indian cinema and even for the country of India. So if the trend changes, because we have been the largest filmmaker in the world, but we will be giving the most of the flops actually. So we have been making very few good films actually. So that has been our record. So that is going to change with these kind of films.
Lot is going to be changed. I think the film city, film city is coming in Noida, and I believe that lot of DC movies, the DC dialects, will find will find movies on these DC dialects and real time issues. People want content. They are not
Yeah.
interested in stars anymore. They are not interested in skin shows or any masala items, songs, or anything. There are a lot of content. They can watch all these things on the internet where they have everything. They would like to have a real life content, but which they can relate themselves. I believe there's a lot to change, and I think this movie will actually act as a catalyst, and many more movies will come, and they will become a blockbuster hits as well.
Right. So these were some of the questions that I wanted to pose you, just to understand the story behind the Kerala story actually. So would you like to add something?
Just one thing, I would request viewers to follow Advocate Pratish Swaminathan. If you want to know the real life Kerala story as it is happening every day, you can follow him on his Facebook page. He updates it regularly. He has, as on date, he has rescued 8,500 females. So my request is everyone follow him, and we have made the film a success. Right now, we have to make our girls aware. We need to make them understand that you don't need to give up your culture if you want to. If you are free to practice love and other things, but you should maintain your identity. You should have that towards your culture. You don't need to give up your identity for love.
Right.
Nobody has the right to change your identity. Neither you should be asking anyone to change their respective identity. That is only a true love.
Right. So that's all for today. So viewer will be coming again with more stories like this, and there is a lot more hidden behind the Kerala story that we are going to unearth, and we'll be interviewing Mr. Pratyush. So we are trying to get to him, and we are trying to interview him, and we'll give you the real story of the Kerala story. What is the story behind? So what you see, there is much more behind actually. So thank you so much for watching. We'll be coming again very soon. Please subscribe the channel and click the bell icon. You will be getting notification. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Namaskar. Shubh Ratri.